Have you ever felt like life is just too hard? Like no matter what you do, the bad times keep coming back again and again? Why do some people seem to stay calm and strong, even when everything around them is falling apart? These questions are very common, and deep inside, many of us wonder how we can be strong when life feels so unfair. Imagine a small tree standing outside during a big storm. The wind blows hard, the rain pours fast, but the tree doesn't break. It sways and bends but stays rooted in the ground. Just like that tree, we need strength inside us to face the storms of life. But how do we grow this strength? Buddhism offers beautiful, simple wisdom to help us be like that tree. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, where we explore truths that touch the heart and guide us through life's toughest times. In this video, we will share gentle and powerful insights inspired by Buddhist teachings, helping you find peace and strength when you need it the most. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribed. So please, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us. Life is not always easy. Sometimes pain, sadness, confusion, or fear seem to take over. But every person has a deep inner strength waiting to be discovered. It's not about ignoring feelings or pretending everything is okay. It's about learning how to accept hard feelings and gently move through them. This strength grows bit by bit, like a small fire that slowly brightens a dark room. Buddhism teaches us that suffering is a natural part of life, but it also offers tools to understand and lessen our pain. We begin by looking at what makes hard times so difficult, not to get stuck in sadness, but to learn and heal. When we know more about our pain, we can face it with kindness instead of fear. In this journey, we will talk about simple ideas like mindfulness, paying gentle attention to what is happening right now, and how this helps calm the mind. We will learn about change and how nothing lasts forever, even the bad moments. By understanding this, we find hope and courage, because if bad times can pass, so can our worries and pain. This is not just about thinking, it's about feeling and practicing. You will hear stories and advice that anyone can use, no matter their background or beliefs. Our hope is that by the end, you feel a little lighter, a little stronger, ready to meet life with a softer heart. So stay with us through this video. Let's walk this path together, weaving wisdom into our everyday moments. Because even in the darkest phases, there is a light inside you waiting to shine bright. Understanding suffering, the first noble truths. Dear friend, let us begin by gently exploring a truth that touches every human heart. Suffering. It may sound heavy, but it is a truth that brings light when we truly understand it. In Buddhism, this truth is called the first noble truth. Says simply, life has suffering. This is not to make us sad or hopeless, but to help us see clearly what we all face. You have felt pain before, haven't you? Maybe it was being hurt by someone you love, or losing something precious. Maybe it was a worry that would not go away, a fear that made your heart thump fast, or a sadness that stayed for many days. These moments are part of life's natural rhythm. They remind us we are alive, that we feel deeply, and that we are connected to all living beings through the shared experience of struggle. But suffering is not just pain or sadness. It also includes the little frustrations, the things that irritate us, the moments of loneliness, the times when happiness seems just out of reach. Suffering wears many faces. Can be physical discomfort or the ache of loneliness. It can be the tension before a difficult conversation or the sadness of saying goodbye. Recognizing this helps us stop running from suffering or pretending it doesn't exist. The first noble truth invites us to face this reality with honesty. We ask ourselves, what is suffering really? Not to make it bigger, but to understand it fully. We begin to see that suffering arises because everything in life is changing. People we love change, our bodies change, the world around us changes. This is natural, but our minds often resist change. We want things to stay the same, to hold on tightly to what brings comfort, and this resistance leads to pain. Imagine trying to hold water tightly in your hands. The harder you squeeze, the more it slips away. Life is like that water, always moving, always flowing. When we try to hold on to pleasures or keep away pain, we suffer more. But when we accept that change is part of life, we begin to gently let go. This is the deep wisdom behind the first noble truths. It teaches us that suffering is caused by our desires, by wanting things to be different than they are, and by clinging tightly to what we like or fear losing. When we understand this, we begin to see a way out, not by escaping suffering, but by accepting it and learning from it. In daily life, this means noticing when we are struggling. Perhaps we feel upset because plans didn't work out, or sad because someone said hurtful words. We can pause and remind ourselves, this is suffering, yes, but it is also temporary. We can breathe in kindness toward ourselves in this moment. Just like the small tree in a storm, we don't have to break from the winds of life. It is important to know that suffering is universal. Every person, no matter where or who they are, experiences it. This common experience connects us all and is the beginning of compassion, not only for others but also for ourselves. When we stop blaming ourselves for feeling pain, we open the door to healing. Through this understanding, we begin a quiet transformation. Suffering no longer feels like a dark trap, but a teacher that shows us how to live more wisely and kindly. It shows us the importance of patience, the power of acceptance, and the beauty of being present with whatever is happening. So, dear friend, embrace this truth gently. Let it wash over you like rain on dry earth. Allow the knowledge that suffering is part of life to open your heart rather than close it. In this openness, you find a new strength, the strength that comes not from fighting, but from going through with courage and softness. Remember, the first noble truth is not the end of the story. It is the first step on the path to freedom. By facing suffering with clear eyes and a warm heart, we prepare ourselves to move forward with greater peace and joy. Let us continue together with kindness and patience, learning how to be strong in the bad phases by gently accepting what is and opening ourselves to what will be. You are not alone on this path. We walk it together, step by step, moment by moment. The roots of resilience, the role of mindfulness. Dear friend, now that we have gently looked at suffering and accepted it as part of life, let us talk about a beautiful practice that helps us grow strength from within. This practice is called mindfulness. It sounds simple, but it is a powerful way to stay steady and calm, even when life feels stormy. Mindfulness means paying attention to what is happening right now, without trying to change it or judge it. It is like being a kind and curious observer of our own lives. Imagine watching a river flowing, sometimes smooth, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. Mindfulness is watching that river inside us with gentle eyes. We often get caught up in our thoughts and worries. Our minds jump to the past, where we might feel regret or sadness, or they race ahead to the future, where fear and worry lives. When this happens, we forget the present moment, the only moment we truly have. Mindfulness helps us come back to now, to this breath, this feeling, this small piece of life. When we practice mindfulness, we begin to notice things we did not see before. Maybe we see how our bodies feel when we are sad or how our minds rush when we feel afraid. This noticing is not to judge or fix anything immediately, but to understand and be kind to ourselves. Teaches us patience and acceptance. Think of mindfulness like a gentle flame in a dark room. It does not shout or fight the darkness. It simply shines quietly, helping us see more clearly. This light makes it easier to handle difficult feelings because we are not running from them or pushing them away. Instead, we hold them gently and watch them as they come and go. In daily life, mindfulness can be as simple as paying attention to breathing. Just noticing the rise and fall of each breath can bring a sense of peace. Or it can mean listening closely when someone talks, or feeling the ground beneath your feet while walking. These small moments remind us that life is happening now, and we are here, alive. As we keep practicing, we also learn that thoughts and feelings are not permanent. They come like clouds across the sky. They change and move. Sometimes, we may feel angry or sad, but mindfulness shows us these feelings do not last forever. This helps us stop being overwhelmed and stay calm. Buddhist teachings show us that mindfulness is the root of resilience, the inner strength that helps us keep going through tough times. It allows us to be strong without being hard or cold. Instead, we become soft and open, like a tree that bends with the wind but does not break. Mindfulness also helps us see the connection between our minds and the world around us. When we are mindful, we notice how our actions affect others and how kindness can grow like a seed in the heart. This awareness deepens our compassion for ourselves and for those around us. Sometimes, bad phases in life make us want to escape or hide. Mindfulness is the courage to stay present, even when it feels hard. It is like holding the hand of a friend through the dark. You don't have to have all the answers or fix everything. Just being with what is, fully and kindly, is a deep healing. The more we practice, the more we find moments of peace hidden inside the chaos. These moments build up like tiny stones, creating a path that leads us through the storm. Day by day, breath by breath, mindfulness helps us grow a quiet strength that nothing can shake. Remember, mindfulness is not about perfect concentration or stopping thoughts completely. It's about being here, now, with an open heart and a gentle mind. It's about learning to be friends with ourselves, even when life is not easy. So, dear friend, breathe deeply and welcome each moment as it comes. Watch your inner river with kindness and curiosity. Know that with mindfulness, you are planting seeds of strength that will help you stand firm through every storm. Together, let us walk this path of mindfulness, step by step, moment by moment, growing resilience from the inside out. You are doing well, and every breath you take is a step toward peace and strength. Impermanence. Embracing change without fear. Dear friend, now we come to a deeply important teaching that can lighten the heart and ease our minds during hard times. This teaching is about impermanence. It means knowing and accepting that everything in life is always changing. Nothing stays the same forever. Not our feelings, not our situations, not even ourselves. At first, thinking about change can feel scary or uncomfortable. We naturally want good things to stay with us, don't we? We want to hold on to happy moments, friendships, health, and peace. But just like the seasons change from spring to summer to autumn and winter, life moves through different phases too. Clouds gather and then drift away. The river flows and never stays still. Understanding this flow is the heart of impermanence. Imagine holding a handful of sand. As you squeeze it tightly, the grains slip through your fingers and fall away. If you open your hand gently, the sand can rest without slipping so fast. Life is like that sand. It moves best when we don't grip too tightly but allow it to be free and fluid. In the bad phases, impermanence is a reminder that pain and difficulty are not forever. The sadness you feel right now will change, even if it takes time. Like a storm that arrives with heavy rain, it will eventually pass, making way for clear skies and sunlight. This does not mean we ignore our suffering. Instead, we see it as one moment in a river of changing experiences. When we truly accept impermanence, we also free ourselves from fear. Often, fear comes from not wanting things to end or change. We worry about losing what we love or about what might happen next. But when we understand that all things, including ourselves, are always in motion, fear lessens. We begin to trust the flow of life and feel safe within ourselves, no matter what is happening outside. This insight helps us live fully in the present moment. Instead of clinging to the past or worrying about the future, we can cherish each breath and each experience. We learn to appreciate the beauty of now, knowing that each moment is unique and precious because it will not come again. Impermanence also teaches us kindness. When we remember that others are changing too, facing their own troubles and joys, compassion naturally grows. We see everyone is traveling through life's ups and downs, just like us. This connection softens our hearts and opens us to help and support each other. Practicing mindfulness, which we spoke about earlier, becomes even more powerful with the awareness of impermanence. Each breath we notice is a reminder that change is happening. The in-breath becomes the out-breath. Feelings arise and fade. This dance of change invites us to stay present and gentle with ourselves. Sometimes the idea of impermanence reveals deep truths about ourselves. Just like old leaves fall to nourish new growth, difficult times can bring inner growth and new understanding. When we stop fighting change, we begin to bloom in ways we never imagined. This does not mean life is always easy. Change can bring loss, uncertainty, and sorrow. But with the wisdom of impermanence, we hold these moments with tenderness rather than fear. We learn that being strong does not mean resisting change, but flowing with it gracefully. Consider this: if the taste of sweetness never changed, would we appreciate it as much? If pain never left, would we understand joy? Life's changing nature makes every experience meaningful. Embracing impermanence is like opening our arms to the whole of life, with its bright mornings and dark nights. So, dear friend, when you face hardship today, remember the river flows, the storm passes, and the sun will shine again. This too shall change. Let these words be a soft reminder when your heart feels heavy. Trust in the rhythm of life and find peace in the knowing that you are never stuck forever. Together, with open hearts and steady breaths, we walk the path of change. Each step teaches us to be more alive, more compassionate, and more free. You have the strength to embrace impermanence and find beauty in every moment's unfolding. May you be gentle with yourself as you let go, and may you find courage in the eternal dance of life's changing tides. You are never alone. We walk this path side by side, learning, growing, and becoming strong in the presence of change. The Noble Eightfold Path, a blueprint for endurance. Dear friend, now we arrive at a very special teaching from the heart of Buddhism, a kind of gentle guide to living well through life's ups and downs. This teaching is called the Noble Eightfold Path. Imagine it as a meaningful map, showing us how to walk steadily and with wisdom when the road feels rough. It is not a rulebook or something hard to follow. Instead, it is a way to bring peace and strength inside, step by step. The path has 8 parts, and each one helps us understand how to live kindly and wisely in difficult times. Think of each part as a little lamp that lights your way, one after the other, making the dark places bright enough to see clearly. When we walk this path, we learn not only to survive hardship but to grow stronger and more peaceful because of it. The first lamp is right view. This means seeing things clearly and honestly. It's like putting on glasses that help us understand the true nature of life, its joys, its pains, and its changes. Right view helps us accept that suffering is a natural part of existence, and it shows us that there is a way to lessen this suffering through understanding. Next is right intention. This is about the thoughts and feelings in our hearts. It asks us to choose kindness, letting go of harmful wishes like anger and greed, and instead allowing goodwill and compassion to grow. When our intentions are right, our energy flows toward healing and gentle strengths. The third part is right speech. In hard times, words can hurt or help. Right speech teaches us to speak honestly, kindly, and wisely. It reminds us to avoid harsh words that might make pain deeper, and instead, to use speech that encourages and uplifts ourselves and others. Then comes right action. This asks us to act with care and respect for all lives. Even when we feel broken or weak, we can still choose to do small things that are good, like helping a friend, being honest, or simply treating ourselves kindly. Right action helps us build a life that supports peace. Fifth on the path is right livelihood. This means choosing a way of living that does not cause harm to others or ourselves. It encourages us to find work and activities that bring dignity and goodness, rather than stress and pain. Even in bad phases, we can look for ways to live that nourish both our hearts and those around us. The sixth step is right effort. This is about the energy we bring to our journey. It does not demand forcing things or pushing ourselves harshly. Rather, it invites gentle persistence. We make effort to let go of harmful habits and to nurture healthy ones. Like planting seeds carefully, we tend to our inner garden with patience and care. Next is right mindfulness, which we have spoken about earlier. This lamp lights our way by helping us stay present and aware. Right mindfulness means paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and actions with kindness and curiosity. It keeps us grounded, so when trouble comes, we don't get lost in worries or regrets. Last is right concentration. This is developing a focused and peaceful mind through meditation or quiet reflection. It is like calming the waves on the sea so that the depths of our being become still and clear. Right concentration helps us see things as they are, bringing clarity and calm, even in the middle of life's storms. When we walk on the Noble Eightfold Path, we do not have to perfect every step instantly. It is a gentle unfolding, a natural way to grow stronger inside. The path teaches us that strength is not just about fighting hardship, but about learning how to live with it gracefully and wisely. This path is like the steady breath of the earth beneath your feet, supporting you every step you take. It teaches endurance, not the kind that wears you down, but a deep, soft endurance that holds you lovingly through every difficulty. Dear friend, consider this path as an invitation to treat yourself with great care. When your mind starts to worry, remind yourself of right view and see the moment clearly. When anger or sadness rises, bring to mind right intention and choose kindness as your response. When you speak to yourself or others, choose words that comfort and encourage, guided by right speech. Even in small actions like how you sleep, eat, or care for your body, remember right action and right livelihood, which honor your well-being. When you feel your energy lagging, bring right effort to gently encourage yourself forward without strain. Stay present with right mindfulness, noticing each breath and each feeling as they come. And finally, spend quiet moments in peace with right concentration, allowing your mind to settle deeply like a calm lake. Life's hard phases will come and go, but the Noble Eightfold Path stands as a support you can turn to again and again. It invites you to a gentle strength, a strength born from wisdom, compassion, and clear seeing. Walk this path with a warm heart and an open mind. Let each step be a gentle act of love toward yourself and the world around you. You do not need to rush or feel pressured. The path is always here, waiting patiently to welcome you. Remember, dear friend, strength does not mean never falling. It means rising again each time, with more kindness toward yourself than before. The Noble Eightfold Path is your companion on this journey, an ever-present light to help you stand strong in the darkest moments and find your way back to peace. May your steps be steady, your heart be soft, and your spirit be courageous as you walk this beautiful path. You are not alone. We travel together side by side, one gentle step at a time, breaking the grip of attachment, finding freedom. Dear friend, now let us gently explore a teaching that is at the heart of finding peace amidst difficult times: the teaching about attachment. We all know what attachment feels like. It is the tight hold we have on people, things, feelings, or ideas that feel precious or necessary for our happiness. But this hold, though it feels natural and sometimes comforting, can also bind us and cause deep suffering when life's changes challenge what we cling to. Imagine holding a beautiful but burning coal in your hand. The coal feels warm and bright, and we don't want to let it go. But as time passes, the heat can hurt our palm, and yet we keep holding on, afraid to lose the warmth it gives. This is how attachment often works in our hearts. We grasp tightly because we fear loss, but this grasping can cause pain and keep us stuck in suffering. In Buddhism, attachment is one root cause of suffering, not because wanting or loving things is wrong, but because our attachment is often mixed with fear of losing what we love, fear of change, fear of being alone or incomplete without something outside us. This fear makes us hold too tightly, not realizing that this very hold limits our freedom. To break free from this painful grip, first we must gently understand the nature of attachment. Attachment arises because we believe that lasting happiness depends on something outside ourselves. Objects, people, achievements, or even ideas about how life should be. When these things are secure, we feel okay. But the moment things shift, as they always do, our peace can shatter. Dear friend, this is not to say you must stop caring or loving. Love is a beautiful part of life, but true love is free, not grasping or binding. It allows space to grow and change, to flow like a river. When love becomes attachment, it turns into a cage. But when love becomes freedom, it becomes a gentle breeze that lifts the heart. Let us look closely at the feelings that arise when attachment tightens its grip. It might be anxiety, a restless mind, jealousy, frustration, or sadness. These feelings point us to the places where our heart is holding on too hard. With kindness and curiosity, we can meet these feelings instead of pushing them away or pretending they aren't there. Mindfulness, which we have spoken about before, is our friend here too. When we become aware of these feelings as they arise, without judgment, we begin to see patterns of attachment clearly. This seeing is the first step to loosening the hold. It's like noticing that our hand is holding a burning coal. We realize the pain is caused by our grasp and can choose to open our hands slowly. Opening the hand takes courage because it feels like losing a safety net. But the truth is, by holding on so tightly, we sometimes lose sight of the freedom that already exists within us. This freedom is not about having or not having things outside. It is about how deeply we connect with our own heart. It is the calm and clear space inside that is untouched by loss or gain. Breaking attachment also invites us to practice letting go step by step. We can start small, like letting go of a stubborn thought or a worry. Sometimes it means forgiving someone or even ourselves. At other times, it means accepting change that we cannot control and trusting that life will unfold as it should. One of the most gentle ways to practice letting go is by remembering impermanence, which we discussed earlier. When we hold in our hearts the truth that all things change, we naturally relax our grip. We learn to cherish moments and people without trying to possess or control them. This kindness toward life creates space for joy and peace. Attachment also touches how we see ourselves. Sometimes we cling to ideas about who we should be or what our life should look like. These ideas can trap us in disappointment and self-judgment when things don't match our expectations. The path to freedom includes gently loosening these self-imposed bonds and allowing ourselves to be who we are, with all our imperfections and changes. Remember, dear friend, that breaking attachment is a process, not a sudden event. It happens little by little, like a leaf falling slowly from the tree or a wave retreating from the shore. Sometimes we take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and that is perfectly okay. What matters is that our heart moves steadily toward openness and freedom. As we practice, we discover an unexpected joy. When we stop holding so tightly, life becomes more spacious and lighter. We begin to laugh again, to breathe deeply, to find happiness not just in what we have but in simply being alive. This joy is not dependent on any one thing. It blossoms from within. This freedom is what makes us strong in difficult times. When trouble comes, we no longer crumble because something outside us is lost or broken. Instead, we stand with a heart that is peaceful and open, ready to meet whatever comes. We become like the big tree, rooted deeply but flexible, able to bend without breaking. Attachment is natural, but it doesn't have to confine us. Through gentle awareness, patient practice, and loving kindness toward ourselves, we can loosen the grip and find a deeper freedom. This freedom is a precious treasure, always available inside us, waiting to be uncovered. So, dear friend, as you walk your path, bring gentle attention to the places you hold on tightly. Ask yourself, is this holding me or hurting me? Can I let go a little today? With warmth and patience, open your hand and heart, trusting that freedom grows in the space created by letting go. May you find peace in this gentle release, strength in the flowing love that is free, and courage in the unfolding journey of your heart. We walk this path together, stepping softly toward freedom and light, each moment a chance to break the chains and embrace the boundless sky within. Compassion toward self, the art of self-kindness. Dear friend, as we continue this gentle journey together, let us now turn our loving attention inward. Often, when difficulties arise, the hardest place to be kind to is our own heart. We may feel tired, discouraged, or even blame ourselves for the hard times we face. But true strength, as the wisdom of Buddhism shows us, begins with compassion, not just for others but first and foremost for ourselves. Imagine a small bird that has fallen from its nest. It is fragile, scared, and uncertain. If someone comes near with harsh words or heavy hands, the bird may hurt even more. But if one approaches gently, speaking softly, offering warmth and care, the bird feels safe and begins to heal. This is how we must treat ourselves, like that vulnerable bird, deserving of gentleness, patience, and kindness. Self-compassion is the practice of giving ourselves the same warmth and understanding that we would offer to a dear friend. When we are in a bad phase, it is natural to feel upset or overwhelmed. Instead of judging ourselves for these feelings or pushing them away, self-compassion invites us to say, "It's okay to feel this way. I am here for myself." This simple act softens the heart and gives room for healing. You might ask, why is self-compassion so important? Because when we are gentle with ourselves, we build a strong foundation inside. Without this kindness, our minds can become harsh judges, speaking words of criticism and doubt that deepen our pain. Self-compassion helps quiet this inner voice, replacing it with one of encouragement and warmth. The Buddha taught that self-compassion is part of true wisdom. Wisdom is not cold or distant. It is a loving understanding of our shared humanity, our joys, sorrows, mistakes, and strengths. Recognizing that everyone, including ourselves, struggles sometimes helps us let go of perfection and embrace who we really are. Let's explore together some ways to practice self-compassion when the bad times come. When you notice your mind criticizing you, pause and gently say to yourself, "May I be kind to myself in this moment." Feel the weight of those words and allow them to soften the tightness in your chest. Another practice is to treat yourself with care through small, nurturing actions. Maybe it's resting a bit more, breathing deeply, or simply pausing to notice the sun on your face. These acts are not selfish. They are reminders that you matter and deserve love, even when things feel hard. Sometimes self-compassion means forgiving ourselves for mistakes or moments when we felt weak. Forgiveness is not about forgetting but about releasing the harsh story we tell ourselves. It is like opening a window to let fresh air in, clearing away the heaviness so that light can enter. When our minds spin with worries or fears, self-compassion acts as a soft anchor. Imagine wrapping your heart in a warm blanket, giving yourself permission to feel whatever arises without judgment. This space of safety allows difficult emotions to come and go without overwhelming us. Dear friend, know that self-compassion is a journey, not a sudden fix. Some days, kindness will be easy to offer yourselves. Other days, it may feel challenging. That is perfectly normal. What matters is the intention to come back to love again and again, like returning home after a long day. In Buddha's teachings, compassion for oneself connects deeply to compassion for all beings. When we learn to be kind to ourselves, it naturally flows out, touching family, friends, even strangers. The heart expands, seeing that pain and joy are shared experiences, weaving a web of connection and support. One beautiful way to cultivate this compassion is through mindful phrases, also called loving kindness or metta meditation. You might silently repeat, "May I be safe, may I be happy, may I be free from suffering." These words help train the heart to respond with warmth and care. As you practice self-compassion, notice how your relationship with yourself changes. Instead of a battlefield where criticism rages, it becomes a quiet garden where seeds of kindness grow. With each moment of tenderness, your inner strength blossoms, making you more resilient against life's storms. Remember, dear friend, that self-compassion is not about indulgence or escaping reality. It is about facing life's challenges with a soft, open heart that knows how to care for its own wounds. This caring is the foundation from which true courage and peace arise. When you experience pain or struggle today, try to greet yourself as you would a beloved friend going through tough times. Speak gently, listen patiently, and hold yourself lovingly. Know that this kindness is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. You are not alone on this path of self-care and growth. Together, step by step, we nurture the art of self-compassion, opening a door to deeper healing and unwavering inner strength. May your heart be gentle with you. May you find comfort in your own company. And may self-compassion be the warm light that guides you through the darkest phases toward peace and joy. Community and Sangha, strength in shared support. Dear friend, as we walk on this path together, it is important to remember that none of us travels alone. Just as a single flame is fragile, but many flames gathered can light a great fire, we find strength and courage when we walk with others. In Buddhism, this fellowship is called Sangha, the community of people united by a shared journey toward healing, peace, and growth. Life's hard phases can sometimes feel very lonely. When the weight of pain or worry presses down, it may seem that no one else understands what we are going through. But the truth is, every person struggles at times. Every heart carries its own burdens. Knowing this can bring a quiet comfort that you are part of a vast web of human experience, connected through joys, sadness, hopes, and fears. Imagine walking on a rough mountain path alone. The stones underfoot may be sharp, the slope steep, and the way difficult to see. But when you walk with friends or companions, you can share the load, hold hands to steady each other, and find encouragement with every step. Sangha is this companionship for the soul. The Buddhist Sangha goes beyond a simple group of people. It is a place of deep respect, acceptance, and care, where people listen without judgment and support each other's growth with gentle hearts. When we belong to such a community, the hard times become lighter because the burden is shared. Seeking help from others is not a sign of weakness, quite the opposite. It is a brave and wise act to open your heart and say, "I need support right now." Sharing your feelings and struggles with someone who listens kindly can ease pain and bring fresh hope. Sometimes just knowing someone is there, sitting quietly beside you, is a healing balm. Community also teaches us that everyone has gifts to give and receive. Maybe someone shares a comforting word, another offers a warm smile, and yet another shows kindness in gentle actions. Giving and receiving in this way creates a circle of loving energy that uplifts each person involved. In Sangha, there is space for many kinds of people, different ages, backgrounds, beliefs, and paths, but all united by a wish for peace and understanding. This diversity is a strength because it shows us many ways to face hardship and hold on to hope. When we feel strong, offering our support to others nourishes our own hearts. Helping a friend who is struggling or simply listening deeply to someone's story reminds us of our shared humanity. By caring for others, our own worries become smaller, and our hearts grow wider. It is also within the Sangha that we can learn and practice the teachings of the Buddha together. Sitting in meditation, listening to stories of courage, or sharing reflections helps us feel rooted and inspired. These gatherings build a foundation of calm and wisdom that we carry into our daily lives. Dear friend, sometimes you might hesitate to reach out, fearing that your troubles are too difficult or that you will burden others. But remember, true community thrives on honesty and openness. When you allow others to see your struggles, you give them the gift of connection, and you invite them to walk beside you. Technology and the modern world offer new ways to find Sangha, through groups, discussions, or online circles. But the heart of it always remains the same: sharing kindness, listening with openness, and being present for one another. Even in moments of solitude, remember that you belong to this larger family of humanity. Every kind thought you send out, every moment of understanding you offer to yourself or another, weaves a closer connection. In these bonds, the strength of many becomes the strength of one. When the bad phases come, and they will, turn to your Sangha, whether people close by or found through kindred spirits afar. Let their words and presence be an anchor. Lean into the warmth that flows from shared hearts, and let it remind you that you are never truly alone. The Sangha is like a garden full of different flowers, each beautiful in its own way. Sometimes, when your spirit feels wilted, being in this garden can refresh and revive you. Here you can be yourself with all your fears and hopes, and be met with love. This shared support helps us grow resilience, the quiet strength that comes from knowing we belong. In the face of storms, Sangha is the shelter, the friend's embrace, the calm breath that steadies us. So, dear friend, as you journey through the tough times, reach out and receive the gifts of community. Offer your own light to those who need it. Together, we build a network of care that carries us through life's challenges and celebrates its joys. May you find comfort in connection, courage in companionship, and peace in the loving presence of the Sangha. We walk this path united, step by step, heart to heart, growing strong in the power of shared support. The middle way, balance in adversity. Dear friend, as we continue walking this gentle path together, let us now explore a teaching that shines like a quiet light, guiding us through the ups and downs of life. This teaching is known as the middle way. It is about balance, not leaning too far into extremes, but finding a gentle, steady middle path that helps us stay calm and clear, even in the hardest times. Life often pulls us in many directions. When trouble comes, it is natural to feel overwhelmed, and sometimes we try to fix things by going to extremes. We might push ourselves too hard, pretending everything is fine, or we might give up and sink deeply into sadness. The middle way invites us to find a path between these extremes, a way of being that is neither too harsh nor too loose, but just right to hold us steady. Imagine walking on a tightrope stretched across a deep valley. If you lean too far to the left or right, you might lose your balance and fall. But if you stay centered, with steady focus and care, you can walk across safely. The middle way is this careful balance for the mind and heart. It is a practice of gentle steadiness that helps us avoid suffering caused by pushing too hard or giving up. This teaching comes from the life of the Buddha himself. Before awakening, he lived in extremes. First in a life of luxury and pleasure, then through severe austerity and hardship. Neither extreme brought true peace. But when he found the middle way, a path of balance and moderation, he discovered deep freedom and lasting happiness. In moments of difficulty, the middle way invites us to listen closely to our own needs and limits. It reminds us that strength does not come from forcing ourselves beyond what we can bear, nor from hiding away from the world. Instead, strength grows when we meet life with gentle awareness, accepting our feelings without drowning in them or shutting them out. Finding this balance takes awareness and patience. We learn to recognize when we are slipping into extremes, maybe rushing frantically to fix everything, or withdrawing into despair and isolation. When we notice these patterns, we can pause and choose to return to the middle space where calm and clarity live. The middle way also shows us how to balance our emotions. Instead of reacting with anger or fear, or burying pain deep inside, we practice feeling our emotions fully, but without letting them control us. This is like holding a bird gently in your hands, supporting it with care, without squeezing too tightly or letting it go. In practical life, the middle way guides us to nurture both effort and rest. When we face challenges, it encourages steady, kind effort, taking one step at a time, rather than forcing ourselves into exhaustion. And when we need to rest, it reminds us that rest is not weakness but a vital part of healing and growing stronger. This balance extends to how we relate to others as well. We learn not to push too hard or hold back too much in our relationships. We seek honest connection filled with openness and respect, meeting others halfway with kindness and understanding. The middle way nurtures harmony between our needs and the needs of those around us. Another way to see this path is through the idea of non-attachment balanced with care. We hold our hopes and plans lightly but cherish the present moment deeply. We prepare for the future but do not get lost in worry. We act with purpose but do not cling so tightly that we suffer when things change. Dear friend, the middle way is not always easy to find. Life's storms and challenges may tempt us to grab onto one side or the other. But with gentle practice, we strengthen our ability to notice and gently redirect ourselves toward balance. Like learning to ride a bicycle, at first it may feel wobbly, but with time, balance becomes natural. Buddhist mindfulness meditation is a wonderful way to cultivate the middle way in our hearts. When we sit quietly and attend to our breath and sensations, we practice coming back to the center again and again. This steady presence builds resilience and a calm heart that can meet any difficulty with grace. The middle way also teaches us humility and acceptance. It reminds us that life is not about being perfect or having all the answers. It is about being present with what is, flowing with it, and trusting that balance can be found even in uncertainty. When we adopt the middle way, we begin to see suffering in a new light. It is not a curse or a punishment, but a natural part of the flow of life that invites us to wake up and grow. This gentle path teaches us that peace is not the absence of hardship, but the presence of balance and wisdom in the midst of it. Imagine yourself as a deep river flowing steadily through the landscape of life. Sometimes the current is strong, sometimes gentle, but it continues on its path without breaking or flooding. The middle way is like that steady river, flowing with life, balanced, resilient, and free. So, dear friend, as you face your own challenges today, remember the invitation of the middle way. When the waves of hardship rise, seek the quiet center within you. Breathe deeply, come back to balance, and walk your path with gentle strength. Trust in this steady, compassionate way. Let it hold you when times are hard and guide you toward peace. You are not alone. Together we travel this balanced path, one mindful step at a time, growing stronger and kinder with each moment. May you find harmony in your heart, courage in your balance, and light in every step of your journey. The middle way is your timeless companion, always here, always ready to guide you home. Practical Buddhist meditation, calm in the storm. Dear friend, as we continue this gentle journey, let us now sit together in the quiet space of meditation. Meditation is a practice like tending a garden or caring for a small flame. It helps us find peace and calm inside, especially when life feels like a storm swirling around us. Though it may seem difficult at first, meditation is a natural skill that anyone can learn with kindness and patience. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a pond. Sometimes the water is clear and still, reflecting the sky and trees. Other times, the wind blows hard and the surface ripples with waves. Meditation is the practice of gently calming the water so you can see clearly underneath, beyond the disturbances on the surface. When we face a bad phase, whether it is sadness, fear, confusion, or pain, our minds often become restless. Thoughts rush like wild horses. Emotions rise like thunderclouds, making it hard to find stillness. Meditation offers a way to meet these storms, not by pushing them away, but by sitting with them openly, allowing them to pass like weather passing through the sky. Let us begin simply wherever you are right now. Find a comfortable position, sitting on a chair, a cushion, or even lying down if you need to rest. Close your eyes gently or keep them softly open with a relaxed gaze. Bring your attention to your breaths. Notice the breath flowing in and then flowing out. There is no need to change it, just watch it as it is. You might think, my mind is too busy, I can't stop thinking. And that is perfectly okay. The goal of meditation is not to stop thinking or to empty the mind completely. It is to become a quiet witness to whatever happens inside, thoughts, feelings, sensations, without getting carried away by them. When you notice your mind wandering, as it naturally will, gently bring your attention back to the breath. This returning again and again is the heart of practice. It is like coming home after wandering on many paths. Each return brings more calm and steadiness. Sometimes you may feel discomfort in the body, restlessness, tightness, or pain. Instead of fighting these feelings, you can turn toward them with curiosity. Imagine wrapping them in a warm embrace, acknowledging their presence without judgment. This kindness transforms hard feelings into soft teachers, guiding you to understand yourself more deeply. Meditation helps us discover a simple truth. No matter what thoughts or feelings arise, they come and go. Just like waves rise and fall on the ocean, sensations and emotions have their time and then pass away. When we sit quietly and watch, we see that we are not those waves, but the stillness beneath them. With practice, this stillness grows stronger and more steady. It becomes a refuge, a safe place you can visit anytime, no matter what is happening outside. When life is stormy, this inner calm is a precious gift that supports and heals. Another beautiful form of meditation is loving kindness or metta meditation. After a few moments of breathing quietly, you might silently repeat gentle wishes like, "May I be safe, may I be peaceful, may I be happy." Then extend these wishes outward to friends, to people you find difficult, and even to all beings everywhere. This practice softens the heart and opens the door to compassion and connection. In meditation, there is no rush, no competition, no need to be perfect. Each session, even just a few minutes, is a step toward greater peace. Over time, you may notice small changes. You become less reactive to stress, more patient with yourself and others, and kinder in your thoughts. You might wonder, how can sitting quietly help when problems feel so big? Meditation does not solve problems for us, but it changes how we meet them. Instead of being swept away by fear or anger, we learn to face hardships with a calmer mind and an open heart. This way, troubles lose some of their power, and solutions can arise with greater clarity. Sometimes meditation feels difficult. Maybe your mind feels restless, or your body aches. This is not a failure. It is part of the path. Just like a seed takes time to sprout, your patience and persistence are the gentle rain helping your inner peace to grow. If sitting still feels challenging, you can try walking meditation. Walk slowly and mindfully, feeling each step as your foot touches the earth. Notice the movement of your body and the rhythm of your breaths. Walking can help anchor your attention and allow calm energy to flow. Remember that meditation is a personal journey. It can be a quiet refuge in the morning, a pause during a busy day, or a soft landing before sleep. Find what suits you best and approach it with kindness, like tending a delicate flower that needs gentle care. Dear friend, meditation is not about escaping life but meeting it fully. When you practice, you are training your heart to be present, calm, and loving, even amid challenges. You are learning to be your own gentle friend, offering care and steadiness that supports you through every high and low. As you keep walking this path, may your meditation practice grow like a soothing river, steady, flowing, and deep. May it bring you the calm in the storm, the light in the darkness, and the strength to stay rooted no matter what comes. We sit together in this space of peace, connected by the shared effort to find calm in the chaos. Every breath you take is a step toward freedom. Every moment of stillness is a gift to your heart. May your meditation be a soft shelter, a clear mirror, and a loving embrace. Know that you are not alone. We walk this gentle path side by side, breathing, resting, and growing stronger with every mindful moment. Transforming negative emotions. Tools from Buddhism. Dear friend, as we continue this gentle journey through life's challenges, let us now turn our hearts and minds toward a very important teaching: how to understand and transform the difficult emotions that arise during hard times. Feelings like anger, fear, jealousy, or sadness can often swell inside us like storms, making it hard to find peace. But Buddhism offers us kind and powerful tools to meet these emotions with courage and gentleness, helping us to change their energy and find calm again. First, it is important to know that negative emotions, although uncomfortable, are part of being human. Everyone experiences them. They come to show us something about ourselves or our lives that needs attention. They remind us that we care deeply, that we want safety, kindness, or understanding. Rather than seeing these feelings as enemies, Buddhism invites us to see them as messengers carrying messages from the heart. Imagine, dear friend, that your emotions are like weather in the sky. Sometimes the sky is clear and bright. At other times, dark clouds gather with wind, rain, and thunder. You do not blame the clouds or try to chase them away forcefully. Instead, you watch them with gentle awareness, knowing they will pass, and the sky will clear again. This is how we can relate to our negative emotions, with gentle mindfulness and patience. The first step in transforming difficult emotions is to recognize and acknowledge them. When you feel anger rising or sadness swelling, don't push these feelings away or say they are bad. Instead, pause and name the feeling quietly in your mind. This is anger. This is fear. By simply noticing and naming the emotion, you begin to create a little space around it. This space is precious. It stops the emotion from overwhelming you and gives you a chance to respond wisely. Next, give yourself permission to feel the emotion fully, without rushing to fix or avoid it. Sometimes our minds want to escape pain by distracting ourselves or pretending the feeling isn't there. But when we allow ourselves to be present with the feeling, like sitting beside a restless child and offering calm presence, we help it to soften and lose its heavy grip. Breathing deeply helps here too. Take slow, gentle breaths, letting your belly rise and fall. With each breath, imagine sending kindness to the part of you that's hurting or upset. Your breath becomes a bridge between your mind and heart, guiding you from tension toward ease. This simple act of breathing with compassion transforms the way we relate to difficult feelings. Buddhism also teaches us to look deeply into the cause of our emotions. Anger, for example, often hides fear or hurt beneath its fiery surface. Jealousy may come from feelings of insecurity or longing. When we explore these roots gently, without blame or judgment, we begin to understand our hearts more clearly. This understanding lightens the burden of the emotion and helps us find new ways to respond. One powerful tool to help with this is called mindful reflection. After calming the immediate intensity of an emotion, you can ask yourself questions like, what is really behind this feeling? What does this emotion want me to see or learn? How might I care for myself or others right now? Such reflection turns the emotion into a teacher, guiding us toward growth and healing. Another beautiful practice taught in Buddhism is called loving kindness, or metta. When difficult emotions arise, you can silently repeat kind wishes to yourself or others, such as, may I be safe, may I be peaceful, may I be free from suffering. These words help soften the heart and replace the hardness or tightness anger or fear may bring. Over time, metta practice builds a deep well of compassion inside, making it easier to face life's storms with a gentle spirit. Sometimes we may feel overwhelmed by emotions that seem too big or too dark. In those moments, it is okay to seek help from a trusted friend, a community, or a wise teacher. Sharing your feelings with someone who listens kindly can be a healing act that brings light into the darkness. Remember, no one needs to carry their troubles alone. Buddhist teachings offer another insight called equanimity, a calm, steady mind that remains balanced amid changing feelings. Equanimity does not mean being numb or detached. It means having enough space inside to feel without being swept away. It is like the ocean that carries waves but remains deep and still underneath. Cultivating equanimity takes time and patience, but it is a precious treasure that protects the heart. To develop equanimity, we practice watching emotions come and go without reacting impulsively. When anger or fear arises, we learn to pause, breathe, and observe it without judgment. This pause is like a calm harbor that stops the storm's rush, giving us room to choose a kinder, wiser response. In daily life, transforming negative emotions also means caring for our whole being. Sometimes feelings become more intense when we neglect rest, nutrition, or movement. Gentle habits like walking in nature, stretching, or drinking warm tea can soothe the body and calm the mind. Treating ourselves with kindness outside and inside supports the transformation of troubled emotions. Dear friend, remember that this process is not about getting rid of pain or feeling happy all the time. Life naturally includes ups and downs. What matters is how we meet those moments. By learning to sit with our emotions, understand them, and gently transform them, we create a path from suffering toward peace. When we practice these tools, we discover something very beautiful. Even the hardest feelings can become gateways to insight and love. Anger can teach us about our boundaries. Fear can help us recognize what we treasure. Sadness can open us to deeper compassion. Through mindful presence, no emotion is wasted. All become steps on the path to healing. Imagine yourself as a tender gardener of your heart. Each difficult emotion is like a wild flower growing in the garden of your being. At first, it may seem prickly or uncomfortable, but with gentle care, awareness, breathing, kindness, it blossoms into understanding and peace. The garden becomes rich and alive with many colors. You have within you the strength and wisdom to face your feelings gently. They are not your enemies but your companions on this journey. When fear or anger visits, welcome them like old friends who have come to teach you something important. Listen deeply, breathe kindly, and let the heart soften. In this way, your inner world becomes a sanctuary, safe, open, and calm. From this sanctuary, you can meet the outside world with courage and love, no matter what storms arise. So, dear friend, as you walk your path today, remember the tools of mindfulness, reflection, loving kindness, and equanimity. Use your breath as an anchor. Open your heart to all that arises within. Know that every step you take to understand and transform your emotions is a step toward gentle freedom. May you find peace in your feelings, strength in your softness, and light in every shadow. You are not alone on this path. Together, with tender hearts and steady breaths, we walk through every storm toward a clearer sky and an open heart. Equanimity, standing still in life's winds. Dear friend, as our journey gently unfolds, let us gather now around a precious teaching that offers us deep peace amid life's ever-changing winds. This teaching is called equanimity. It is like a soft strength inside us, the ability to stand steady and calm, no matter whether the skies are bright or dark, whether joy or sorrow come to visit. Imagine a tall tree standing at the edge of a field. When the wind blows hard, the tree sways but does not fall. Its roots hold deep, its branches move gracefully with the breeze. Equanimity is that gentle balance within us that allows us to be flexible without breaking, peaceful without ignoring what is happening. It helps us meet life just as it is, with a heart that neither clings too tightly nor pushes away too strongly. Life is full of ups and downs, right? Moments when everything feels easy and bright, and times when difficulties press heavily on our shoulders. Without equanimity, these ups and downs can toss us like waves on an angry sea, leaving us exhausted, anxious, or confused. But with equanimity, we find a steadiness inside, a calm center where no storm can sweep us away. You might wonder, how can I become this steady? How can my heart stay calm when troubles rush in? The path to equanimity is gentle, and it grows with kind practice and patient hearts. It begins by learning to accept what is present in each moment, without pushing it away or clinging to what we wish were different. Acceptance here doesn't mean giving up or ignoring pain. Instead, acceptance is like opening a window to let fresh air in, a way to see clearly what is happening inside and around us. When we accept, we stop the struggle against life's currents and find enough space to breathe and respond with kindness. Sometimes our minds rush to label feelings as bad or good, right or wrong. But these judgments can make our hearts tight and restless. Equanimity asks us to step back from these judgments and simply notice. Here is happiness. Here is sadness. Here is pain. Here is joy. By holding our experiences in this spacious way, we allow them to pass through us without storming the gates of our peace. Practicing equanimity is like learning to watch the weather, sometimes sunny, sometimes rainy, without becoming the weather ourselves. The sun may warm our face, but it doesn't control our mind. The rain may soak us, yet inside, we remain calm and centered. One way to cultivate equanimity is through mindful observation. When difficult emotions arise, instead of reacting immediately, we pause and take a breath. We become a kind witness to whatever is happening inside, without grabbing onto the feeling or pushing it away. This pause creates a sacred space where we can choose how to respond rather than react. Think of this pause as a soft cushion beneath your feet that steadies each step, even on shaky ground. It is a place where you can feel your heart open to all feelings, welcoming them as part of your humanness without losing your calm center. Equanimity also invites us to hold lightly to our hopes and fears. We often suffer when we grasp too tightly, holding on hard to our desires for how things should be, or clenching in fear of what might happen. When we learn to loosen this grip, we find that our hearts become more spacious, allowing both joy and sorrow to flow without overwhelming us. This spaciousness is a safe harbor where we can meet difficulties without losing ourselves. It is not numbness but a deep, awake presence that embraces life fully, light and dark, hurt and healing, loss and love. Dear friend, remember that equanimity is not something we suddenly have or don't have. It is a quality that grows like a seed planted carefully and nurtured with warmth and patience. Sometimes the winds of life may shake it, and sometimes it may feel fragile. But with steady care, that seed becomes a strong, supple tree. One powerful practice to nurture equanimity is the loving kindness meditation we've spoken about before, combined with compassion toward ourselves and others. As kindness grows, it softens the sharp edges of fear and anger, making room for peaceful balance. Another support for equanimity is the contemplation of impermanence, that all things change. When we deeply feel that moments come and go, joys fade and sorrows pass, we can rest more easily knowing that no state lasts forever. This trust helps the heart relax and stand steady. Sometimes, life brings challenges that seem overwhelming. In those moments, equanimity offers a refuge, a quiet place within where we gather our strengths. We may feel hurt, but we no longer lose ourselves. We may be tired, but inside grows a calm flame that will not be extinguished. Equanimity does not mean that we don't care. On the contrary, it teaches us to care without being consumed, to love without clinging, to act without losing our center. It invites a wisdom that sees clearly both the suffering and the beauty in life, and meets both with a steady heart. You are like that tree, dear friend, rooted in quiet strength, flexible and open, standing firm through the winds of life. Every breath you take, every kind thought you hold, lets your roots grow deeper and your branches reach higher. So when you face hard times, practice stopping, not to escape, but to stand still. Breathe deeply and feel the steady earth beneath you. Know that you have within a calm place no storm can touch. From this calm place comes true power, the power to stay peaceful, and the courage to keep moving forward gently. Together, let us cultivate equanimity, the heart of balance and peace. Let it be the soft strength that carries you through every phase, the quiet voice that whispers, "This too shall pass," and the warm light that brightens even the darkest moments. May your heart stand steady, your spirit remain free, and may you find peace, always, in the midst of life's winds. You are never alone. We walk this path side by side, breathing calmly, living gently, and growing strong in the deep calm of equanimity, accepting loss and letting go. Dear friend, as we continue on this gentle path together, now we come to a lesson that touches the deepest corners of our hearts, accepting loss and learning to let go. Loss can come in many forms: the passing of a loved one, the end of a relationship, a dream that did not unfold, or even changes in our own bodies and minds. Loss often feels like a heavy cloud that darkens our days, and the pain can seem too much to bear. Yet, There is a quiet wisdom in learning how to accept loss and gently release what we cannot hold. Imagine a leaf falling from a tree on a crisp autumn day. It drifts softly through the air, no longer attached to the branch where it once grew. Although the leaf lets go, it is part of a cycle. This process begins a natural rhythm of life that allows opening our hearts wide enough to hold pain and sorrow alongside love and hope. We learn to sit with our grief as if it were a fragile guest, offering it space and kindness. When we try to push loss away or deny its presence, the pain can become heavier. But when we face it with tenderness, the weight may gently soften over time. Letting go is the next part of this journey. It is not about giving up or forgetting, but about loosening the tight grip we have on what is changed. Often, we try to hold on because we fear losing our connection or because we wish things could be as they were. This holding on can trap us in a cycle of suffering, where the past feels like a prison. To let go is to open our hands and hearts, trusting that love and memory live on even when the moment has passed. It is to acknowledge that some things are beyond our control, and by releasing them, we create space for healing and new beginnings. A beautiful practice to support this process is mindfulness, being present with whatever is happening inside, moment by moment. When memories come that bring joy or pain, breathe gently into them and allow them to be without clinging or pushing away. With time, this practice helps us see that feelings, like clouds, arise and fade. Another support is compassion, both for ourselves and for others who share in our sorrow. It is common to feel isolated in loss, but reaching out to others in kindness opens a door. Sharing stories, tears, and silence with caring companions can lighten the burden and remind us of the deep human connection that loss reveals. Buddhism teaches the wisdom of impermanence, that all things change and nothing lasts forever. When we deeply accept this truth, we begin to understand that loss is part of the flow of life. This insight does not take away the pain but offers a pathway through it, like a lantern lighting our steps in a dark forest. Sometimes, loss may raise questions about meaning and purpose. We might ask, why did this happen to me? What am I to do now? These are natural and important questions. The path of acceptance invites us to be patient with ourselves and recognize that answers may come slowly, through reflection and lived experience. There is a story in Buddhism about a monk who lost a precious item. At first, he was restless and troubled. But then he recalled the teaching of impermanence and the natural order of things. With calm mind, he let go of his attachment and found peace. This story reminds us that holding on too tightly to loss only extends suffering, while letting go opens the door to freedom. As we learn to accept loss and let go, the heart makes room for gratitude. Gratitude for the time we had, for the love we shared, and for the lessons learned. This gratitude is like a soft light that shines even in sorrow, helping us find meaning and hope. Acceptance and letting go also prepare us to embrace life fully again. When we open our hands, we make space for new joys and connections. The heart that has known loss can also hold more love, deeper compassion, and greater wisdom. Dear friend, your pain is real, and your journey is sacred. Do not hurry yourself or expect quick fixes. Grief and healing move like rivers, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, winding through valleys and plains. Allow yourself to flow with this natural rhythm, trusting that peace will come in its own time. Remember, letting go does not mean leaving behind the love or memories. Those treasures live on in your heart, like stars that guide you through the night. You are the river, the tree, the leaf, and also the sky that holds them all. When loss feels overwhelming, take refuge in your breath, the steady in and out, the calm center within. Breathe in kindness and breathing out pain. Find comfort in small moments of peace and in the gentle support of those who care for you. May you be gentle with yourself as you navigate loss. May your heart open to healing in its own time, and may you find courage in surrender. You are never alone in this journey. Together, step by step, breath by breath, we walk toward peace and light on the path of acceptance and letting go, turning setbacks into growth, kintsugi and Buddhist healing. Dear friend, as we continue to walk this gentle path together, let us now explore a beautiful way of looking at life's hard moments, turning setbacks and brokenness into something of great value. This teaching comes from both the wisdom of Buddhism and the art of kintsugi, the Japanese practice that gently repairs broken pottery with gold, making the cracks a shining part of the story rather than something to hide. When difficult things happen, loss, failure, disappointment, or pain, our hearts can feel shattered, like a precious bowl dropped and broken into pieces. It's natural to feel sadness, anger, or helplessness. The brokenness seems like something to hide or fix quickly. But what if, instead, we learn to see those cracks as part of our journey, as places where life's light can shine through? Kintsugi teaches us that breakage is not the end of beauty. In fact, it can become the source of even greater strength and uniqueness. When gold is used to mend the cracks, the pottery becomes more precious and more interesting than before. It carries its history visibly, and that history is honored rather than erased. This wisdom holds a beautiful mirror to our own lives and hearts. When we face setbacks, we often feel less than whole, imperfect, or broken. But just like the kintsugi bowl, your life's cracks and scars can become a source of strength and beauty. They tell a story of resilience and healing, not just brokenness. Buddhism teaches us that suffering and setbacks are part of the human experience, but they do not define us completely. Instead, how we respond to these challenges shapes our path. When we choose to accept our scars and care for them gently, we open the door to healing and growth. Healing does not mean forgetting the pain or rushing to fix ourselves perfectly. It means gently turning toward our wounds with compassion and patience. Like the kintsugi artist carefully holding the broken pieces and applying golden lacquer, we learn to embrace our struggles without shame or fear. Buddhist healing invites us to practice kindness toward ourselves in the process. When setbacks bring feelings of failure or self-doubt, we bring loving awareness to these feelings, acknowledging them as part of our journey rather than flaws to hide. This self-compassion is the gold that fills the cracks. It mends and beautifies the broken places with warmth. Imagine, dear friend, that each setback is a teacher. Even when it does not feel that way, it is offering lessons about patience, courage, acceptance, and deeper wisdom. These lessons shape the pattern of your life uniquely and beautifully, like the golden veins in the repaired pottery. Turning setbacks into growth also means embracing impermanence and change, as we have spoken before. Nothing in life stays the same, and often our most challenging experiences are invitations to open new doors within ourselves. The cracks in our heart and life are not just places of weakness, but gateways to transformation. Sometimes healing requires time to rest, to reflect, to reach out for support. This is like the careful drying and polishing in kintsugi, where rushing would damage the delicate work. Be gentle with yourself, dear friend. Trust that every small moment of care and kindness builds a foundation for deeper healing. It is also important to remember that your story is unique. No two cracks or repairs look the same because no two people's experiences are the same. Celebrate your own resilience and the ways you have already survived and grown through difficult times, even if the path seems slow or uncertain. In the community around you, the Sangha, there are others who understand the art of healing with gold. Sharing your story, listening to others, and holding space for mutual support enrich this process. Together, the collective light of many shining cracks makes the whole brighter and stronger. Buddhism also encourages us to balance holding on and letting go. Sometimes healing means releasing old stories of pain or blame, like letting go of a heavy cloak. Other times, it means holding close what nourishes us. Memories of love, moments of joy, seeds of hope. This delicate balance is part of the healing dance. As you turn setbacks into growth, you become the artist of your own life, crafting beauty even from hardship. Your cracks filled with kindness and understanding become places where life's light can enter and shine forth. Imagine yourself as a kintsugi bowl, strong, beautiful, and precious. Not despite your cracks and scars, but because of them. Each golden line is a witness to your courage, your patience, your willingness to heal and grow. Dear friend, setbacks are not the end of your story. They are beginning points for new strengths, new understanding, new peace. When you find yourself broken or bruised, remember the golden path of healing, and let your cracks be a source of light. May you hold yourself with gentle hands and a warm heart, mending your soul with kindness and grace. May you discover the gold hidden in your struggles, and may your life shine all the brighter because of the journey you have walked. Together, we walk this path of transformation, step by step, crack by crack, hand in hand, turning setback into growth, pain into beauty, and brokenness into radiant healing. Insight and reflection, learning from challenges. Dear friend, as we gently continue together along this quiet path, let us pause to look deeply into the meaning hidden within life's challenges. Insight and reflection are like the soft light of dawn, slowly awakening our heart and mind to see clearly what difficulties teach us. Though hard times may feel heavy and confusing, they carry within them seeds of understanding and growth that can guide us toward peace and wisdom. Life's challenges often arrive uninvited. They can shake us to our core, making us question who we are, what we believe, and where we are headed. Yet, within these moments of uncertainty, there lies a precious opportunity, a chance to pause and look inward with gentle curiosity. This is the gift of insight, the ability to learn from our experience with kindness, without rushing or forcing. Consider for a moment how reflection works. Imagine you find a stone on your path. At first glance, it seems ordinary, maybe even a little bothersome. But when you pick it up quietly, turn it over in your hands, and study its surface, you discover its unique colors, patterns, and texture. Much like that stone, our challenges are not just stumbling blocks but treasures to hold and explore. Insight arises naturally when we open ourselves to understanding rather than running away from difficulty or pretending it didn't happen. It is not about blaming ourselves or others, but about seeing clearly what is true beneath the surface of our pain. What does this moment teach me about my heart? How has this experience changed my way of seeing the world or myself? Buddhism invites us to cultivate this reflective awareness gently, not as a harsh judge but as a wise friend sitting patiently beside us. When we develop this skill, we become like a calm lake, able to mirror our thoughts and feelings without stirring waves of judgment or denial. Why is insight so important in staying strong during bad phases? because it helps us make sense of suffering and find meaning beyond the heaviness. It shows us that hardship is not the enemy but a teacher wearing a different face. This understanding reduces fear and resistance, like opening a door that felt locked tight. Reflection also helps us recognize patterns in our lives. How we react to pain, what thoughts keep us stuck, or what choices lead us toward peace. By noticing these patterns, we gain the power to change them. The first step to freedom is awareness, and insight is the light that reveals the path. Sometimes, insight comes through stillness and meditation, when the mind quiets and the heart softens. Other times, it arises in moments of conversation, reading, or simply being out in nature, where the simple presence invites deep knowing. There is no right or wrong way. The important thing is openness and willingness to learn. When reflecting on challenges, it's helpful to ask gentle questions to the heart, such as, what can I appreciate about this experience? Even if it is hard, how has it helped me grow or see differently? What resources, strengths, or support have I found along the way? These questions turn pain into teachers and open up new possibilities. It is also essential to bring compassion into reflection. Sometimes looking deeply at pain can bring tears or discomfort. This is natural and part of healing. Meeting ourselves with kindness through these moments ensures reflection does not become self-criticism or despair, but a nurturing process that strengthens resilience. Insight and reflection invite us to accept both our shadows and lights, understanding that wholeness includes all parts of ourselves, the strengths and the struggles, the joy and the sorrow. They help us hold contradictions gently, letting go of the need for everything to be perfect or certain. Dear friend, learning from challenges does not mean forgetting the pain or pretending everything is fine. Instead, it means holding your story with honesty and tenderness, allowing new clarity and peace to grow like a flower unfolding petal by petal. This growth may be slow and subtle, but its roots run deep. This reflective process also connects us to the wisdom of the Buddha and countless others who have faced suffering with courage and understanding. Their stories remind us that the human journey is difficult but full of possibility when approached with open hearts and curious minds. When we cultivate insight, we take back our power from the chaos of struggle. We stop being helpless victims and become active participants in our healing. This shift is gentle but profound. It changes how we meet the world and our own hearts. You are already on this journey, dear friend. Each breath you take, each moment you stay present with yourselves, is a step toward greater insight. Sometimes you may feel discouraged or unsure, but trust that this quiet learning is happening beneath the surface, like seeds growing unseen before blooms appear. Remember, insight is not a destination but a lifelong companion. It walks beside us, subtle and steady, lighting the way when the path feels dark or confusing. Together with kindness and patience, insight helps us stay strong in the bad phases, showing us that even the hardest struggles hold the potential for healing and awakening. May you find comfort in reflecting with a gentle heart. May your challenges become teachers, helping you discover the truth within yourselves. And may your journey be blessed with patience, wisdom, and peace. We walk together, step by step, learning, growing, and opening our hearts to the light of insight that shines softly through life's shadows. You are not alone, and the path ahead is filled with possibilities born from your courage to see and understand. The power of purpose, living meaningfully through trouble. Dear friend, as we continue our journey together, let us now explore a gentle but powerful light that can guide us through life's darkest moments. a sense of purpose. Purpose is like a quiet fire burning within the heart, giving warmth, direction, and meaning, even when the world around us feels cold or uncertain. Living with purpose does not mean having all the answers or a perfect plan, but finding a reason to keep moving forward, a reason that nourishes the soul and carries us gently through trouble. When hard times come, it is easy to feel lost or small. Days may blend together in confusion, and moments of despair can whisper that nothing matters, that pain will last forever, or that we are alone in our suffering. But purpose is a gentle reminder that even in the midst of struggle, there is something worth holding on to, something that makes life meaningful and gives our hearts a steady beat. Imagine sailing on the ocean during a storm. The waves toss the boat and the winds howl fiercely, making it difficult to see the shore. But if you have a compass and a destination in mind, you can navigate the storm with intention and hope. Purpose is that compass. It does not calm the waves, but it helps us steer through them with steady hands and a hopeful heart. This inner compass can take many forms. For some, it is love, a deep wish to care for family, friends, or even strangers. For others, it might be a calling to help, to create, to learn, or simply to grow as a person. Whatever your purpose is, it acts as a light that shines even through fog and darkness, guiding each small step forward. Buddhism teaches us that true purpose comes from understanding our connection to all beings, that our lives matter because we are part of a larger web of lives. This connection invites us to live with kindness, compassion, and wisdom, knowing that our actions ripple outward and touch the world in ways we may never fully see. Purpose also gives us strength when our own hearts feel weak. It is not about forcing ourselves to be brave or perfect, but about gently remembering the why behind our journey. This why can soften fear and despair and replace them with determination and peace. Sometimes, discovering purpose means returning to small, simple things. A smile shared, a kindness given, a moment of beauty noticed. These small acts are seeds that grow into meaning, reminding us that life's value is not only found in grand achievements, but in the everyday moments of care and presence. When trouble feels overwhelming, purpose helps us keep our hearts open and engaged with life rather than closing off or retreating into fear. It reminds us that even suffering can have a place in a meaningful story, shaping who we are and deepening our capacity to love and understand. Dear friend, there may be times when your purpose feels hidden or distant, like a faint star behind clouds. It is natural and okay to walk through times of uncertainty. With patience and gentle self-trust, the light of your purpose will shine forth again, sometimes in unexpected ways and places. One way to connect with your purpose is through quiet reflection or meditation. Ask your heart softly, "What gives my life meaning? What small step can I take today toward that?" Listening to yourself with kindness creates space for purpose to grow, like a tender plant seeking the sunlight. Another source of purpose comes from community and connection. When we share our stories and support one another, we find encouragement and fresh inspiration. The purpose we seek is often found in the laughter and tears exchanged with others walking similar paths. Living with purpose also means accepting that life will not always be easy or clear. Sometimes the path twists and turns unexpectedly. But purpose is like a loyal friend who stays by your side, reminding you that your life matters and that you are capable of moving forward, even when the way is hard to see. It is important to remember that purpose is not about doing everything or being perfect. It is about being true to your heart and showing up, even in small ways, with courage and kindness. Each moment lived with intention adds light to the darkness and builds a foundation of strength. When you find yourself struggling, try to hold on gently to your sense of purpose. Let it calm your mind and steady your spirit. Remember that your life has meaning, even if it sometimes feels hidden beneath clouds of pain or confusion. Purpose is also linked to hope, the hope that things can improve, that healing is possible, and that love continues to flow. Hope is a quiet companion to purpose, reminding us that the future holds possibilities, and that each new day is an opportunity to move closer to peace. Dear friend, your purpose is a precious treasure, uniquely yours. You do not need to compare it with anyone else's. Trust that it will grow and bloom in its own time, shaped by your experiences, your dreams, and your heart's deepest longings. Let your purpose be a soft fire within, warming you when the nights are cold and lighting your steps when the road is dim. Let it remind you of your worth, your strength, and the beauty of your journey. Together, we walk with this quiet fire kindled in our hearts, growing stronger, brighter, and more steady with each breath. May you find your purpose deeply and live it fully, even amid life's challenges. May your days be filled with meaning, your heart with courage, and your spirit with peace. You are not alone. We walk this path side by side, guided by the gentle light of purpose and love, step by step, moment by moment, building joy, small steps in hard times. Dear friend, as we continue walking together on this gentle path, let us now turn our hearts toward a bright and tender topic: joy. Joy may seem distant or even impossible to find when life feels heavy with trouble and pain. Yet, Buddhism shows us that joy is not only for the easy moments. It can be discovered, nurtured, and grown even amidst the hardest times, often through small, simple steps that weave light into our everyday lives. Imagine that your heart is like a garden. Sometimes, storms may flood the soil or the sun may hide behind clouds. But beneath it all, there are seeds that quietly wait, ready to sprout when cared for with patience and love. These seeds are the moments of joy, tiny bursts of warmth and peace that, when noticed and nurtured, can grow into lasting happiness. Joy does not mean pretending everything is perfect or ignoring difficulties. Rather, it is a gentle feeling deep within that arises when we open ourselves to the beauty, kindness, and softness life still holds, even when circumstances are tough. In Buddhism, joy is a quality of the mind and heart, something we can awaken by turning our attention with love and awareness. One way to begin building joy is by appreciating the little things: the golden light of the morning sun filtering through leaves, the softness of a breath, the kindness of a smile from a stranger, or the quiet presence of a friend who listens. These small moments might seem ordinary, but they carry extraordinary power. They remind us that life contains many gentle gifts waiting quietly to be recognized. When we pause to notice these simple joys, we train our hearts to rest in gratitude. Gratitude is like a gentle rain that nourishes the seeds of joy, helping them grow strong within us. Even during hard phases, gratitude does not deny pain. It rather invites the heart to hold both sorrow and sweetness together, like a calm lake reflecting sunshine and shadows alike. Dear friend, joy is also born from connection, the bonds we share with others and the world around us. When we reach out with kindness, offer a helping hand, or receive care from others, the heart opens wider. These moments of shared love and support are sources of deep joy, reminding us that we are not alone on this journey. Sometimes joy arises from acts of generosity or service. Helping someone else, even in small ways, can awaken a warm happiness within us. This joy comes not from what we receive, but from how we give, opening our hearts to the needs of others and finding meaning in these acts. In Buddhism, this selfless giving is called dana, and it plants seeds of joy that blossom in surprising ways. You might wonder, how can I feel joy when everything around me feels so hard? It's a natural question, and the answer lies in gentle, intentional practice. Like building a fire starting with small twigs and dry leaves, joy begins with tiny sparks, moments of kindness, awareness, or gratitude that can grow if we tend them tenderly. One practice to nurture joy is called mindful appreciation. At different times of your day, pause and ask yourself quietly, what is one thing right now that is beautiful, kind, or good? It could be a sound, a feeling, a memory, or simply your breath. Allow yourself to soak in that feeling for a moment, letting it warm your heart. Another way to cultivate joy is through gentle movement. Walking in nature, stretching your body, or even dancing softly in your room. Movement connects us to the present moment and our own vitality, stirring feelings of ease and delight that awaken joy from within. Laughter, too, is a precious gift. It lightens the heaviness and opens the heart to joy. Finding moments, whether in stories, friendly company, or silly thoughts, that bring laughter is a way to invite joy even when life feels serious or difficult. Dear friend, joy also grows with self-care and kindness toward yourselves. When we treat ourselves gently, resting when tired, nourishing our bodies with good food, and speaking kindly to our inner selves, we create fertile ground where joy can blossom. Taking time to care for your own well-being is not selfish but essential. It is important to remember that joy is not a constant state. Comes and goes like waves in the ocean. Sometimes, grief or pain may seem to cover the surface, but beneath, joy waits patiently. Allow yourself to receive it in small doses, without pressure or expectation. In Buddhism, joy is linked with mudita, the joy in others' happiness. When we celebrate the successes and happiness of others, even strangers, our own hearts open and expand. This shared joy creates a ripple that spreads kindness and peace far beyond ourselves. Sometimes, when the weight of life feels overwhelming, joy may hide behind layers of tiredness, sadness, or fear. Gentle patience is needed to uncover it. Like uncovering a gem buried in earth, each tender moment of awareness brings us closer to its shimmering light. Reflect on moments in your life, even small ones, when joy appeared. A kind word, a healing touch, a beautiful sunrise. Remembering these sparks can remind the heart that joy is always possible. These memories are treasures to hold close and return to when times feel dark. Building joy also means being open to wonder. The simple amazement at the colors of a flower, the song of a bird, or the endless sky above. Wonder softens the mind and opens space for joy to enter. It reminds us that life is a mystery filled with moments of awe and beauty, even in hardship. Dear friend, as you walk through your challenges, invite joy gently into your life. Do not rush it or demand it, but welcome it like a shy visitor, patiently, kindly, and with an open heart. Through this quiet nurturing, joy becomes a faithful companion on your journey. You are like a gardener tending to a precious garden of the heart. Each small act of kindness, gratitude, and presence waters the soil, Each breath of patience and love helps joy take root and grow tall. Over time, these small steps create a flourishing space of peace and light within. May you find moments of joy today, in the small, the simple, the everyday, that soften your heart and brighten your spirit. May this joy grow steadily, filling you with warmth and hope even in the midst of life's storms. Together, let us walk with joy as a gentle friend, quiet, steady, and true. Each step you take nourishes this joy, and through it, your heart becomes more open, your spirit lighter, and your courage deeper. May your days be filled with soft laughter, warm smiles, and quiet wonder. May joy bloom gently in your heart, always and in all ways. You are not alone. We walk this joyful path side by side, step by small step, hand in hand, growing light and love even through the hardest times. Conclusion: continuing the journey with wisdom woven. Dear friend, here we find ourselves together at the closing of this gentle journey, a path woven with wisdom, kindness, and hope. As all good things must, this chapter reaches its end. Yet the journey itself continues, stretching beyond these words and moments into the unfolding story of your lives. Let us now gather our hearts and reflect softly on what we have shared, reminding ourselves of the strength and light that live inside you, always ready to guide your way. Throughout our time together, we have touched many teachings and practices, each one a thread in the beautiful tapestry of resilience and peace. You have learned about the nature of suffering, how it touches every heart, and yet how it can be met with courage. The gentle power of mindfulness has shown you how to return again and again to the present moment, holding life's storms like a steady flame. You have come to know the truth of impermanence, that nothing lasts forever, which invites you to embrace change with open arms rather than fear. The Noble Eightfold Path has offered a map, a kind and wise guide to move through hardship with balance, right intention, and a calm mind. We explored the deep challenge of attachment, learning to loosen our grip in order to find freedom and joy. Compassion toward yourself has been a soft refuge, a place where your heart is cared for as tenderly as a sacred flower. We remembered the strength of community, the Sangha, where shared support helps carry burdens and lighten the load. The middle way reminds us to keep balance when life pulls us toward extremes, inviting a steady path of gentleness. Meditation has been a calm harbor where inner peace grows, and you have been gifted tools to transform difficult emotions into teachers of wisdom and kindness. Equanimity, that strong but gentle heart, has shown you how to stand peacefully amid life's winds. We learned the tender courage of acceptance when facing loss, and from the art of kintsugi, the understanding that brokenness can be mended with golden grace, making us uniquely beautiful in our healing. Insight and reflection have become trusted companions, guiding you to learn from your challenges, while purpose, your quiet inner fire, gives meaning to every step you take. We spoke of joy, not as something distant, but as a flower blooming from small moments of kindness and gratitude, even in the hardest times. Dear friend, all these teachings and practices are yours now, woven into the fabric of your being. They are soft lights to return to whenever the darkness seems too deep. They remind you that strength is not about never feeling weak, but about rising gently, with love, whenever you stumble. Before we part ways for now, I want to share something close to my heart. On this channel, Wisdom Woven, there are so many views, but only 0.2% of all who watch choose to subscribe. If these words have touched you, if this light has warmed your heart in any way, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps this gentle fire alive, allowing us to continue weaving these teachings into the world, helping many more find peace and strength. You are part of a greater tapestry, a community of souls walking paths of healing and awakening. By staying connected, you help this circle of kindness grow stronger, and your own heart grows stronger too. As you step forward from here, carry these seeds of wisdom gently in your heart. Life will continue to bring joys and sorrows, moments of calm and times of storm. In every moment, remember the strength that lives inside you, the fire that bends but does not break, the river that flows steadily, and the light that shines quietly but powerfully within. May you walk your path with patience, courage, and kindness. May your heart remain open as the sky, your spirit as steady as the earth beneath your feet, and may every breath you take remind you, you are held, you are loved, and you are never alone. Together, we have woven wisdom into your journey. Now go gently and shine brightly. The world needs your light. Thank you, dear friend. Until we meet again, may your days be peaceful, your nights restful, and your heart always strong. With boundless warmth and deep gratitude, your Zen master, from Wisdom Woven.